We are smarter.
Don't use all my lines now.
That is not the definition of monogamy. Mono, one.
I'm pregnant. Oh, timing is impeccable.
This is vegan. And I'm like, see, it's not that bad. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Lauren Moses, your favorite dog mom, foodie, pasta lover, all the things. And also, former UVA hooper, all academic team. We're here with my big bro.
Yeah, it's your boy Dezman Moses, former Green Bay Packer, Kansas City Chief, Tulane Green Wave, Iowa Hawkeye, Jersey representative.
All the things.
Yeah, all of that. What we got to look forward to today, Lo?
Well, in today's show, we're going to start off with a topic that has to do with Jay-Z and B, Queen B, but also Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
And also Tristan Thompson.
Well, so we'll see what this is about. That sounds interesting.
Weird combination, right? But also our super teams. All these super teams in the NBA winning these titles back to back.
We're going to talk about it.
Get into it. And then some toxicity when it comes to relationships, men, women. Who are the true toxic ones?
Y'all more toxic.
We'll talk
Y'all more
about it.
I'll tell you right now.
We'll see. And then cooking for yourself. I be fake chefing it. Chefing it up. You be cooking?
Couple meals we can put together. I got one or two go-tos. Both of them are fairly healthy, but we're going to tell them. We're going to tell the people what it's about and what I'm whipping up. What's at the top of the show?
Talking about infidelity among athletes. A lot of times we see a lot of men in the spotlight who come out about it.
You said men?
Yeah.
I see you said men.
Yes.
What about the ladies? We have status-wise huge, polarizing female athletes too. We don't hear too much about them off the court,
and that is for a
field.
Reason. We are smarter.
So y'all cheating too.
And so some people like to say that we're sneakier. I think smarter would be the word.
Listen up, fellas.
You have the means to keep things a secret. And also, if you just use the thing that God put between your ears, it might help. It might help a little bit. But think about the names that we talked about. How did we find out about infidelity outside of their household? We're talking about social media. We're talking about the internet. Finding out about Jay-Z and his stepping out. Nick Cannon has openly talked about cheating on his wife, Mariah Carey, previous wife, and Tristan Thompson getting caught up in the streets.
But let's step back, though, because it sounds like it's wrong. Morally, socially, is it, though? Because there's people that have different ideologies. Some people believe, why do I have to be with one woman? Why do I have to be with one man? Especially as an athlete, the power, the status that I have. Is it okay? Is it something that you believe in? Dealing with multiple partners or having an open relationship?
Yeah. Well, personally, I can't do more than one.
Okay.
My focus. I need focus. But this is a conversation of monogamy or polygamy, right?
My sister's right now, fellas. Don't play with me.
And I think that conversation has been widely talked about now because there are so many options at reach. Like
options.
And that's why I think polygamy is starting to become cool.
It's
starting to become a new fad, right?
Sure.
But at the end of the day, it's what a unit has agreed to. Okay. Whether it's monogamy or polygamy. If you say you down with one person and you out here sleeping around with 2, 3, that is not the definition of monogamy. Mono, one.
I don't have a problem with it when it comes to having that open communication. If you have a relationship, like you said, with your unit and y'all talk it out,
unit as in different. Polygamy. Let's make sure we have unit as in multiple people that you are spending time with, right? And that is just that. If the women are all on board with the man or vice versa, then that shouldn't be the issue. But the infidelity is when you commit. You make a commitment.
So it's the lie.
It's the lie.
Gotcha.
From your perspective, do you think women are better at stepping out ting men?
They gonna step. Y'all gonna step. That's what y'all gonna do. I think ladies are much smarter, wiser, quick. Y'all will go so far as to change the name. You'll show a guy your text, it be all girl names. Them the guys. Those are the guys. Check the group chats. Well, I'm not one to check phones, but check the group chats, fellas.
So what about this argument, right? Because I've heard a lot about in my group chats with my girls is
in the DMs.
The girls they step out of the relationship mentally before they do it phically.
Huh.
Is that determined cheating?
When a woman's fed up, ain't nothing you can do about it. I don't know who said that. I ain't supporting nobody. But I think that's true. Once your woman, I think physically she's gone. But men, we're no better.
Yeah.
We're no better. We'll go out there and say, oh, I deal with so.
But I love you.
I don't like none of them. It's not like that. I was going to get right back.
This is my home. You're my home. You're my peace, right?
Don't use all my lines now. Do what you do. Just don't get crazy. It's about that communication. And fidelity sounds like betrayal more than anything, not necessarily the act.
Yeah. But think about how people are meeting up most often. It's on social media. It's through the DMs. And so they're just trying to have fun early on. And then one person might feel away.
Now,
how do you I feel like you can stop midway and be like, hey, this ain't it no more. And go your other way.
Now, I done met a couple young ladies, nice young ladies, in my DMs. And, we have these conversations. Things happen. A lot of times I think it's about overlapping relationships. You may be on your way out of one, on your way into one. You just have to be careful because people are hurt. And I think when you have that power, especially as an athlete, we take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And in turn, we take advantage of people. Something to be careful.
But also going back to athletes, the access, right? We've talked about this in shows.
Options.
This is a lifestyle, right?
Y'all be in the DMs, ladies. Don't blame the athletes. Y'all be up in them DMs. Look, don't you?
But who's in the relationship? It's the same thing when the girlfriend want to fight the side girl, right? It's like, but she wasn't in a relationship with you,
right?
But the athletes have all this, I don't know, temptation.
Sure, it's a lot of fish in the sea, and these women and men are shooting their shots at the target. Everybody doesn't have the strength to say.
And
no.
some people swish, some people break. Some people swish, some people break.
Shoot your shots, though. Holla at me.
You might get lucky. Right. You just might get lucky.
Woo, Lauren, it's getting a little hot in here. I'm gonna have to take my hat off. Look, I don't want to get in no trouble. We just talking. We just having fun. Hypotheticals here. Let's move forward though to super teams, Lauren. What do you think about some of those athletes who are making their name, trying to make their career on these super team championships, Kevin Durant?
I think that it all comes down to winning, right? Everybody wants to win a ring. Everybody wants to win a championship. And the proof is in the pudding, in the history, that when you team up with a whole bunch of superstars, that is usually the outcome, or it's more likely that it is the outcome.
Is the championship outweighing how you win it?
In today's game, it is. That is what people are talking about. Yes, they're talking about the records, the 50-point games. Luka Doncic, no rings, but he's got a bunch of records for a very young player in the NBA.
I think it's overrated.
It's
overrated. I think the rings are overrated because we're going to have guys like the Charles Barkley. We're going to see Charles Barkley's not as good as some of these guys because they don't have as many rings. Or
yes.
What if Kobe went ring chasing? He had 5 and wanted to win 10. These things can be skewed easily, especially with a guy like Kevin Durant who went and won a ring with a dynasty. Beat his chest, called himself the leader. Now they're gone. Team is still winning championships. Kevin Durant is not.
Ring chasing, that has become popular. That has become a part of the conversation when you talk about GOATs, when you talk about leaving a legacy in the NBA. You always remember who they are on the court.
Right.
But how many rings did you bring to a city? Especially the fandom.
But you're saying they need a championship, is what you're saying.
Yes.
All right, you got to build a championship right now. Give me your 3. Who are you building it around?
Championship
Any
team.
sport.
We're doing basketball, right?
Okay.
We're doing basketball. I'm all in their prime. By the way.
NBA?
Mix. We're doing mixed.
Okay.
Yeah, we're having a mixed team.
Some ladies
I'm a mixed championship. Okay. We got me, of course.
Okay.
I'm hooping up. I'm lacing up.
You're one of the 3.
Yes, in my prime.
Stop.
People. Prime.
In the prime, okay.
Yes.
Fair enough.
No. It's these 3 and me.
Okay, fair enough.
So MJ in his prime.
Yeah, Mike.
I'm taking Candace Parker in her prime.
I like that.
Ooh, this last one gets tricky.
Who you got?
We need a point guard, so I'm taking Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie!
There's no rules here. There's no COVID rules. Kyrie can just play. He don't have to align to anything that he doesn't want to do in my scenario.
I don't know about this team.
Haywire.
I don't know about this team.
All right, then who's yours? Who's your 5 or 3?
I got 3. I'm building a football team, an organization. These are 3 guys that if I had at any time, obviously in their prime, had to start a team, this is who I'm starting with. First off, at quarterback, the GOAT, my GOAT, the man, Thomas,
TB.
Edward, Brady. I don't know if his middle name's Edward, but Tom Brady. He's the man. He's consummate professional leader, but winner. This man is a dog, Mamba mentality, all of these things he encompasses. Plus, his man's like 44 years old. I mean, he's still throwing the ball with the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got Ray Ray in the middle. Ray Lewis in his prime would eat your heart out and tell your kids about it. He's a killer, literally.
Yeah. No, allegedly.
Allegedly. One of his former teammates, Ed Reed, Miami guy. You know, I used to watch these guys growing up. I remember vividly being on the couch Saturday afternoon. You know, daddy's whipping up breakfast. I'm watching young Ed Reed, young Ray Lewis, you know, pregame speeches, and I got tears in my eyes. These are the guys that I watch playing the game, do it the right way, and part of the reason that I chose to play the game of football. And I played it the way I did.
And we got to give a shout out. We got to give a shout out to Big Vern.
Big Vern.
Dad. Like, we've talked about our dad, you know, a little bit now, and, you know, voice is all Dezman.
Right.
All Dezman. Even certain things that he does, like the way he moves, I'm like, are you Daddy 2.0?
Yeah,
like,
2.0.
What is going on? But no, shout out to Daddy, because he did put us in positions for us to see greatness. You know, whether that was going to games, whether that's driving us up to New York to play against some of the best competition in the country.
Yeah.
And he always just exposed us to the possibilities of what we wanted to do within sports.
100%. Big Vern. Shout out to you,
Love
boy.
Love you always. It was fun to talk about the super teams and all, but we got to get into something a little bit more serious, similar to what we talked about off the top of the show, but toxicity. Toxic male traits and toxic female traits. Because I feel like we've both experienced a little bit of
100%. Look, the ladies.
Excuse me.
Let me back up, because I'm representing the fellas today, because we often get the connotation, we get the labels, oh, men are toxic, you know, toxic masculinity. First off, there's nothing wrong with being masculine. Toxic, no. Masculine, yes.
I think what we talk about toxic femininity or toxic masculinity has changed, because I think at one point for women, being toxic was just sitting in the corner and allowing your man to do and say whatever he pleases. And I talk about back in the day, you know, like when we didn't have
back
status.
In the day. Yeah. So what does it look like
when we didn't have status. Today, it's women trying to reclaim their power in toxic ways, I personally think. Whether that is manipulation. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at some of y'all on the camera.
It goes both ways for men and women.
Yeah, lying is a big one. We've had women say, oh, I'm pregnant, I'm leaving. I'm pregnant. Oh, timing is impeccable. So now that I'm leaving, you're pregnant?
Yeah.
Wow, you know?
Even what you say to get back in, that's all forms of toxicity, forms of manipulating.
What they saying? What kind of things do they say?
Oh, what? Fellas. Oh, I cheated on you. I didn't like her though.
I love you.
I didn't like her though, but I love you. It's everything I said before. We was talking about, you know, infidelity, things like that.
Sure.
It's doing as you want to do in your ego when your pride takes over. But if your girl did it or your boy did it, you're not going to feel that same way.
Right.
And now that I just said that, it made me think, why is it okay if guys, you know, step out, cheat, do those things, but the girl go out and do it? It's over.
It's over, baby.
It is no coming back.
It's over. Your stuff is outside.
No coming back.
Don't call me.
Why is that?
You're blocked. It's a double standard. Let's be honest. It's a double standard. No man wants to have his, you know, quote unquote lady. That sounds possessional, you know.
And that is toxic.
Right.
Possession is toxic because
I don't want my
nobody
lady out
owns...
here, you know, doing this, that, and the third with Joe Blow. Come back. I can't. Nah, she for the streets. That's what we want to give her back after that. For the ladies, y'all seem to be a little more patient. But are y'all? Is that when y'all go into sneaky mode, though?
It could be. You know, I haven't personally done this. But what I hear is if a guy steps out, it may be okay for the girl to go ahead and step out.
Right.
Just to even the playing field.
Don't work. I had a shorty do that to me. I was in Green Bay. Girl, I liked her, too. You know, I went away for the off-season. I liked her, too. Went away for the off-season. I'm being Dez. You know, this is my rookie year, so I'm feeling myself. Long story short, I hurt this girl's feelings back in, you know, Green Bay. She ends up messing with one of my teammates. Hurts my feelings. Now my feelings hurt. I'm breaking stuff. I'm in the house. I'm throwing my stuff.
What did you expect?
I thought she was going to hold me down. I thought she was going to hold me down,
stick beside you? No.
Stick beside me, baby.
No, because we have feelings too. We don't want to just get, you know, done dirty and then just... Oh, we're just going to sit here. But I just feel like when that happens, you have already exited the situation and
it's over.
There's just no coming back from that because then there's trust. Right. But I feel like that's not a part of toxicity. Trust is not, it's just not there. Your pride, your ego's in the way. And a lot of times, you talked about your first situation was aggression.
Right.
The way you speak to someone can be abusive, obviously, but also very toxic.
Well, that's a great thing that you brought up, because you say aggression. A lot of men, or toxic masculinity. That's what people have in mind, is the aggression. But are there other forms of toxic masculinity that you've seen or encountered that still are as toxic?
I think in my position, it's always been, oh, I think I can change him. Oh, or he's just young. He'll grow up, boys mature slower. So I think I've always given guys a benefit of the doubt in my toxic situations. But also, am I being toxic in that situation by just allowing things to happen and then getting mad about it and thinking he knows why I'm mad?
Right.
Because I think that happens both ways too.
Yeah,
you always think
oh,
he loves me or he likes me. He should know.
Right.
What makes me happy or what I don't want him to be doing. We love food. Food is something that we hold dear to our hearts. But do you cook? Do you get down in the kitchen?
I'm not a big cooker, me. I'm gonna cook some breakfast. I'll get down,
What are your go-tos if you do cook?
Eggs. I'm whip the best eggs in the country, bacon, sausage. Again, I like the breakfast, but I keep it very simple. For me.
Yeah.
Are you throwing down in the kitchen? Are you whipping it up for your guy? For the girls?
Most days, I try to eat in my household, trying to save some money. Okay. Yeah. And so I will cook breakfast. I do egg white, turkey sausage, chicken sausage, lunch, salad, chicken Caesar salad.
Salad is not a meal. Okay. First off, we said cook, y'all.
Oh, you're right.
She's talking about a salad. That's what y'all gonna be eating, fellas. Y'all have her cooker meal salad.
I'm talking about what I cook for me.
And a half a grape.
What I cook for me. Dinner, I already said I love me some salmon.
Okay.
Might do a piece of chicken in the air fryer. That's how I cook. Beef, steaks, I'm not cooking that. I'm gonna go out to even lobster, crab leg, like all that. I'm just go somewhere. I'm not throwing down in the kitchen like that.
Me too. After breakfast, it's DoorDash. It's my DoorDash account.
Do you have the Dash Pass?
Yeah, I'm platinum member. 2-3 times a day, I'm DoorDash. But you can get whatever you want. So whatever you got the taste for, that's what you can get into.
Don't get me wrong, though.
I'm not cooking.
Holidays, I'll chip in. I love to, do one dish just to say that I did something. Yeah. So my one dish has been mac and cheese, collard greens.
Vegetarian cheese. Look, don't eat her mac and cheese.
Oh my gosh, I do both.
Vegan cheese in it.
I do both. And I have switched it up just to, have other people taste it to see, even the stuffing. I've done vegan stuffing before and people have been like, this is vegan? And I'm like, see, it's not that bad.
That's why I ask around on Thanksgiving, because y'all try to sneak them vegan meals.
Yeah, we don't put no labels on nothing in our kitchen.
Not going.
But cooking in general, for me, I love to cook with a glass of wine, red wine preferably. If you want to get into it, Merlot, dry red wine, if anybody wants to give me a gift. But that is my wind down. That is especially if you eat late at night.
Sure.
What time do you eat dinner?
Last time I try to eat before 7. You know what I'm saying? Let them calories burn. I'm still trying to keep this girlish figure. So I try to stick to some sort of diet. But yeah, after about 7, I don't eat.
Yeah.
Let the system do what it's supposed to do. Diet is part of being an athlete, something super important. Another part of being an athlete is dealing with injuries.
Yeah.
Something that you're going to face as an athlete. And Lauren, I can even speak for myself. Injury I dealt with, it was a toe injury my second, third year. My body's not responding. I'm getting these x-rays. It was on my big toe. And I'm like, I know this thing is hurt. I felt it. I know I can't, do the things that I'm accustomed to doing. Mobility, all of these things are being affected. And yet the trainers are telling me nothing's wrong with me. So I'm going in, day out. I'm trying to play on this thing, play the whole season with a broken toe. And mentally, I was in a bad place because now I'm battling with the organization who I'm trying to impress, while also convince them, hey, look, I'm as tough as it's going to come.
Yeah.
I promise you, this thing is broken or something wrong. I was ready to retire. I told him after the season, I said, we either go in and clean it out, figure out what's wrong with it, or I'm going to hang it up because I'm not having fun and I can't perform. And then mentally, I'm in a bad place to where I'm not myself. This is what a lot of athletes deal with, and something to be, careful about. Look in the mirror, loved ones, trainers, friends. If you have an athlete friend or even a friend who's not an athlete, maybe dealing with something, pay attention to them. I didn't come out the house other than doing treatment for 2 or 3 months.
I dealt with a lot of concussions in college, and that was struggle because mentally you're like, I feel like I can play, but you're not passing the test. It was a very much up and down game. But the biggest thing for me was my lingering knee issues with my left knee. Turned from patella tendonitis to quad tendonitis. And once, after speaking with doctors, they're like, this isn't something you can fix 100% with surgery. Do this and see if it helps. So I did a PRP shot in my knee. I ended up getting mono.
For those of you that don't know PRP, they take your blood out, spin it, enrich it, shoot it back into the I mean, it's tough.
And then you're supposed to have, I think it's like a 4-week period where you don't do anything afterwards.
Sure.
But right after I got through that time period, I got mono and I had to sit down for 2 weeks again. So I don't know if it helped. And mentally during that point, we're, getting ready for the season. This is all preseason stuff. And so seeing your teammates being able to do something that you're not able to, especially, going into a senior year, this is my summer before my senior year, it's detrimental to your mindset.
It is. And I can piggyback off that. It's really tough, especially as a pro. But you're also letting your team down. And now you're thinking financially, oh my God, if I'm hurt, might get cut, all of these things are going through your head, and still you're trying to process and get over the fact that, A, you're hurt, trying to recover, but stay mentally positive, because you can go into a really dark space. For me, I did.
And I think the relationship you have with your trainers is a huge part of that. But if you don't have that relationship, you don't like the person, or you guys don't have a relationship that is cordial at least, it can be very tough because you're spending so much time with them.
Exactly. Our morning started at 5:30 a.m. These people were not only our physical trainers, a lot of times they were our psychiatrists, our therapists. They were trying to keep us mentally stable, because it'd be some days you come in there and you just don't have it, or you're just deflated. Injuries are just part of the game. So for your young athletes, you got to lock in. Put that energy and that passion into the rehab. Your body will fail you from time to time. It's part of the game.
It is part of the game. Also, part of the game is staying loyal, right? We talked about that. The infidelity, the toxicity. Don't allow all of those things to disrupt your life, because you're going to get caught.
That karma.
It's going to come right back around, right? But thank you guys so much for tuning in to another show of Moses to Moses. I am Lauren.
It's your boy, Dezman Moses. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Lauren, let's move forward, though. Did you know? Cut.